All right, hello everyone. We're here with our final two to the rites of passage over some lunch. Um, you'll go through all of their fallen comrades and talk through them in the game. If you didn't know them, you know them outside of the game, say what you want, and just talk about the journey it took them to get here to the final two. Because tonight they will be pleading their case, and one of these two will be our lead role. So, Kevin, go ahead and get started.
All right, so we're going to start off with our first person here. The person voted
But
out.
Kevin, your phone's not. Sorry, your screen's not sharing, and it's
My
Yeah.
really,
screen.
really tiny.
Oh, okay. I was trying out a different layout. Let's not do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and
Um,
let me do it just like last season, just because your thing's behind and it throws it off. It makes it
oh
look
no,
weird.
that's not the issue. I just did a different layout.
Oh, no, I'm saying, but you're behind, so you were already saying the first person about to say Brian's name, but Brian wasn't even on the screen yet.
Oh, do you see it now?
Oh yeah, no
No,
spoil
We see your screen, but nothing
spoilers.
there.
yeah, it's give it a second. All right, there
That's
we go. So the first,
Okay.
spoilers.
the
So
first
our first person, I know, very very big spoiler. First person we're talking about here.
is Brian Brown.
uh,
So I'll go first, I guess. I did not get to connect with Brian in this game. However, I have played a lot of games with Brian and I adore him. So, but yeah, I'm sad that we didn't get to connect in this game.
I met Brian in a Discord server for just like a friend server, and I had no idea Brian was an order until the cast reveal. And I was like, yes, I know this guy. I want to get to know him. I want to use that bond with him, get to know him a lot better, and then find out he was inactive and
Yeah,
first boot.
that sucks. Yeah,
All right.
right? But he's really busy all the time, which I assume is why he was not very active here.
Yes, he was actually doing stuff for a musical that he was participating in.
I was just gonna say he actually does theater, and I
Yeah.
think had he been able to be more active, he probably would have done quite well in this season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. Anything else we want to say about Brian?
No, I don't think so.
All
I
right,
think that
let's move
sums
on
it up.
to our next person here. We have the next person voted out, Christine.
Okay, so Christine. I have never met Christine. I was not on a tribe with Christine, so I would love to say her and be able to say something nice about her, but I just sorry, Christine. I hope I get to meet you and actually play with you in another game sometime.
Yeah, same here. Unfortunately, I do gotta shout out old school radical here. She's from season 1. I
Here
believe
she
her
is.
her clue said she had to walk. So
Yeah.
I want to say you guys said her work schedule kind of messed things up for her here.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
changed it with that. They changed it super last minute on her,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so she
that
wasn't
really
expecting it.
sucks.
that's
So
definitely
she,
unfortunate, but
Because I do always like to get to know people I've never met. So, like, she is somebody that had she not gone out so early, I definitely would have tried to make a connection with.
for sure, yeah. I unfortunately I just don't know. Didn't get to know Christine at all either. So
Yeah.
All right. So I think anything else we want to say about Christine?
Mhm.
All right, let's move on to yet another person neither of you were on a tribe with, but you might know. We're going to talk about Dustin.
Dustin.
Yes.
I've
So,
I've also never met Dustin.
okay.
12th
So,
place.
yeah.
That he
Um,
was.
Not 12th, but 12th place.
Fun fact about Dustin is that Dustin and I were actually in this game and Superstar at the same time together. And yeah, I've played a few times with Dustin, but I think usually like one of us ends up going out pretty early. Um I've heard Dustin's pretty messy, but I've never really witnessed that too much on my own. Like he's always been cool with me.
Yeah, as far
But
as Andy just went full out all out on him. With the knowledge is power, took an idol, played it.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as this game itself goes, I didn't get to connect with Dustin in here.
All right. Do we have anything else we want to say about Dustin?
No.
All right. Well, let's move on to finally, after 3 people, we finally have someone you both were on a tribe with. Talk about Nicole.
You people aren't real. Oh my god, that exit was so funny. Hey, I fixed my glare.
Yeah.
All I had to do was just turn around.
I know, isn't that crazy?
I adore Nicole. I really do. And I love how she's not afraid to say how she feels. Like, she just doesn't give a fuck. If she's thinking something, she's going to say it. And I love that.
I didn't get to talk to her at all, even throughout the game. I was more so just afraid of like playing too hard too fast, so I just kind of took it easy until I had to like not.
Yeah. I mean, I did talk to Nicole, and she's one of the people that I really wanted to work with. But on that day, I knew there was nothing I was going to be able to do to save her.
Well, when you tell the entire tribe to vote you out in the middle of a puzzle, really,
Right.
there's not much you can do to recover from that.
Yeah, and even though she did end up completing it and said she didn't want to leave, at that point, like, if even one person had said to me, like, I really would rather not vote Nicole, I could have worked with that. But the fact that every single person was like, I want to get her out, I was like, well, fuck, I can't. There's nothing I can do.
She just made herself the easy vote from that moment, unfortunately.
I will say, Melissa, to your point about her speaking her mind, that's the exact reason she was on the Braun tribe, for that reason.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not being afraid to speak. Like, they were like, made her perfect for that tribe.
Yeah, like, so to me, like, some people might be like, oh, well, she's a bitch or this and that. But, like, I like those people where you always know what they're thinking. It's the quiet ones that aren't saying a word that you got to wonder where their head's at. With Nicole, like, there's no secret. Like, you know what's up.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say about Nicole F?
I think we covered it.
All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the most normal round of Survivor, the tether round, in which we saw the demise of 2 people, but one of them came back in the battle back. So we're only talking about Dex.
All right. Might as well just go ahead and just repeat. I wanted to work with Dex, but Dex was just an unfortunate circumstance of just the vote became him and Tristan. And I did what I did because Becky really didn't want to vote for Gabby and Alex either. So we just came to a quick, simple compromise of what if we just voted for neither of them? I have this. I'm going to play it.
Yeah. So, I didn't get to really connect with Dex too much. I know we had the tether thing, but I feel like it was me and Tristan doing most of the talking for our duos. But I believe I do have some Facebook group chats though that Dex is in, and I don't think we've ever like officially met or talked one-on-one, but he does seem really cool from the chats that I've seen.
We were both in a Big Brother org on Discord at the same time as this, and I also had a role in setting about of that too.
I was going to say, how did that go, Mike?
Terribly. Yeah, Dex tried to play a power that would have saved both of us, and I negated it, because I didn't know it would save both of us.
That was smart.
And the crazy thing is this happened at the same time as Touchy Subjects, and I was on camera here while crashing out in Paradox.
All right. Well, we will wait for Melissa for the next one.
Here.
Oh, she's back. Okay. So anything else we want to say about half of Trex, meaning Dex?
Yeah.
I think it's pronounced T-Rex, but sure.
Well, we were pronouncing it Trex because Trex are for kids. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on to...
Are you sure about that? Have you spoken to Dex? Have you been in a chat with Dex? Are you sure that's for kids?
Silly Rabbit. Trex
I'm with Mike on that one. Sorry.
I don't know. Trek sounds like tricks, so I was trying to do something there. Anyway, we're gonna stop making terrible puns, even though we're not going to, and move on to the next person, the first victim of a tribe that Mike might know a little too well, Blake.
Who? No, I'm kidding. I did not. Blake was like the only one on Lutz that I didn't talk to at all. And I was like nervous because I didn't know where I stood with everybody yet at that point. Like Blake put a vote on me. And so even at that, it was just what gave me the green light of like, you know what, I think I feel good is being told by, I believe it was Lynn's, that, oh, Blake and I didn't even talk last season either. And I was like, okay, bet, perfect, we'll do it.
So you don't believe that Blake and I ever got on a tribe together in this game? But recently I've actually been in quite a few games with Blake, and yeah, I love Blake. Like, I don't think we ever actually work together, but we have good enough conversation where we don't really target each other either. But maybe one day we will actually work together. I do love his energy, though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to talk to in the coin challenge and nowhere else.
And he looks like he has the funnest job ever.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say about Blake? All right, let's go ahead and move on to someone I think both of you will have quite a bit to say about. Let's talk about Alex.
The good old Taco Tony idol play. I came into the Lutz kind of knowing that Taco Tony was like good at finding stuff. And Julia really wanted Tony out. But I wasn't ready to like make that move yet. And just for me, Alex was just honestly just a casualty of what I was hearing from the tether round of like they were leaking stuff, they were selling people this and that. And despite getting to know them better on a call once, I had to like really keep my information tight to myself because I didn't trust them, and I had to still take the shot when it was presented to me.
So Alex, I actually know Alex quite well, both inside and outside of games. I love Alex to death on a personal level. On a game level, I do not trust Alex as far as I can throw them. And Alex did come to me saying that they were going to play this game differently, and immediately I saw Alex was going to be messy Alex. I think that's all Alex knows how to do in games is be messy, but we love them for that.
No, they were such a fun personality to vibe with in like the main chat and here and there on Lutz. I didn't get to talk to them much privately on Lutz, but again, a lot of it had to do with the drama from tethers and not necessarily trusting them.
Right. Anything else we want to say about Alex?
We love you, Alex.
Oh yeah, all love.
All right. Well, with that said, let's move on to our next victim of, oh my God, we're still at Lutz, Tyler F.
Wow, no way. This vote was not that tough. I'm going to be fully honest. It was a 5-4, and it was between Tyler and Taco Tony, and I once again was still trying to build trust with Taco Tony, where I felt like Tyler and I did not have all that much conversation to warrant making a move I felt would have been too early for me. And it's like, even on Braun, it's like that challenge that got scrapped. He comes into the chat. I was like, well, I did this, and like never said how well he did, or like,
yeah, we don't.
I'm trying to figure out our times and everything, and he just never told us.
I did. I tried my best, or something.
It never said anything else after that.
Yeah, and I'd always be thinking, oh my God, Tyler must have gotten a really bad time if he won't say what it is, you know. But for me with Tyler, I got 0 from Tyler in this game. And I do think that had anybody expressed an interest in not voting out Nicole F, I probably would have
It
pushed the
might have
vote
been
on the
Tyler.
Tyler. However, Tyler and I are actually really good friends. We've met in real life. And we did host a game together, Big Brother Oasis, which we haven't had a season since our season 2, but yeah. So no excuse not to talk to me in this game, Tyler. Like, come on, I should have been the first one you were trying to come to.
And it was
Anyway,
never
I
further
still,
than like, hey, good morning, who's the vote?
yes,
That
that's
stuff.
Tyler. That's Tyler. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
In fact, Tyler was in my very first Facebook game that I played.
And just because I have to, yeah, we had Tyler is amazing, and he was a victim of last tribal's Amy tribal.
Yes.
But I had to make that joke, but
I heard a lot about that tribal.
Unfortunately, it is lost in the radical archives because Facebook sucks, but it was a great tribal.
Yeah.
All right. So with that said, anything else?
I won't be expecting it on. I won't be expecting to watch that tribal on FaceTime anytime soon. Is what you're telling me?
No, it's gone, unfortunately. However, is there anything else you want to say about Tyler in this season?
Nope.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to Would You Believe It? We're still at Lutz. Taco Tony.
No, I believe it.
This has to be the last one.
Yes.
Oh, hook, line, and sinker for me. This is where I finally got to pull the trigger. I had the Lutz idol. I knew where every single vote was going and pulled that idol out, saved the person I wanted to stay out of the two of them. Very much wanted Linz to stay. And I think the rest is history there. And I finally was able to get Taco Tony out of here.
So, again, Tony is somebody I did not get to be on a tribe with in this game. However, when I saw that he was on this cast, I was actually really excited because Tony and I had played a different game together where when he went out of that game, his speech that he gave like really touched my heart. And from that moment on, I was like, wow, Tony's really somebody that I want to get to know and that I could see myself working with. Unfortunately, the Lutz tribe decided like that wasn't going to happen, so I never got to do that.
That was mostly me. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say about our King of Ponderosa, Taco Tony?
Chocolatiers for life, even though I didn't make it that far. We played Distortion Survivor together on Discord. Same cast, same season, yada yada. I didn't get far enough to like meet Tony there.
And also major shout out to Mel Johnson. Gotta shout out him as well. Anyways,
Mel Stewart.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Anyway, we have our King of Ponderosa. Let's go to our Queen of Ponderosa. Oh my God, we're not on Lutz this time. Let's talk about Danielle.
I think I'll go first. I didn't get to talk there. She's the only I want to say the only other Braun I didn't get around to like chatting with at all. And then she goes out in a double where I'm not a part of, and it's like, well, shit.
So, Danielle, I actually went to high school with somebody with the same name. So her and we actually got off really well when we were on Braun. Unfortunately, though, on that tribe swap, things weren't really in our favor over there. And I very quickly learned that it was going to come down to me or Danielle. So unfortunately, I did have to get rid of her, but I wish I hadn't had to. It's yeah.
We could have been Braun even stronger if
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All
And
right.
he was initially part of my final 3 plan until that had to change.
Yes. All right. So anything else you want to say about Danielle? Okay, so let's move on to the technical first person to go.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Andy.
Fuck you, Andy. No, just kidding. No, ruined my whole end game just by quitting.
Yeah, right.
I'm kidding. I love Andy.
Yeah, I mean, I had good conversations with Andy. Never really quite knew if where he actually had loyalties to, but I think there were other people maybe influencing stuff there, you know.
I
But
feel
yeah,
like
I wish Andy hadn't quit, and I do feel that like that vote on me and all the drama that came out of that had something to do with Andy quitting, and I hate that because like I didn't care that much about the vote, so yeah.
I played animation with Andy, and I know he can be pretty good at these games. He can be pretty cutthroat, I'd say. My throat got cut like first out of our OG tribe over there. So right. I know he could be good. I feel like he would have been a threat to my game here as well. He's good. He's good. He's just good like that.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I do feel like him quitting was low key kind of beneficial for my game long term.
Yeah.
And Mike, good. Go, Melissa. Sorry.
What happened?
Sorry. I was like, Melissa, go ahead. Sorry, I was gonna say something, but
no, I was just gonna agree with that. Like, I mean, I love Andy, but I feel like for both of our games, yeah, because Andy was so good at comps and stuff. Like, yeah.
He also delivered one of the most iconic memes I've ever seen. And you ready for this one, Jay?
I am. I was gonna say we can't finish it without saying it.
Really? A 0 vote finalist? Fuck y'all. You can block me.
I did. Iconic
lines I've ever heard.
That.
One of the most iconic lines I've ever heard anywhere.
So for anyone here who does not know context, in Domination Island Season 1, unfortunately, you know, the best player that game is voted out pre-merge, but we don't have to talk about that. Andy makes it to the end and goes.
Best player won. What are you talking about?
And
know your place,
That is
Jay.
true. That is true.
Know your place.
I'm the second best player. I'm sorry. I can't disrespect to love my life like that. But lost to Julia Rowe in the final 3 and said, really? A 0-5-7 that game? Fuck y'all. You can block me. Just dips off the Zoom. And everyone's was like, what? So, and it was just the best line. And Andy laughed at himself. So, yeah.
I have all the respect in the world for that. And I do reference that with nothing but love. I promise. I cannot preface that enough.
All right. Well, with that said, since we had a lot to say, is there anything else we want to say about Andy? Okay. Let's move on to the actual merge boot. Let's talk about Becky. And I think Mike already has something to say about Becky. So
we communicated from tethers to this round. Mostly, like, I want to say 90% of our chat, I changed the quick react to the bike emoji. And we kept using that because they named us Mieki. And we were both like, I fucking hate this.
Mieki.
And we just went with, I was like, we could have just been bike. But their our charades was a fun time. And through that, it was like, you know what? Let's vibe. This is great. And then we ended up swapping on Lutz together. And then she like smashed us all in the Wake-a-thon, which turned her into kind of a pretty big threat. But then this merge vote got a little crazy, and I had to kind of flip to save my own ass and my actual, like, obviously day one ally there. Like, I knew the Jester thing wasn't going to stick. My gut said I had to do this, and my gut was right.
So, Becky and I didn't get to connect in this game until the merge. on a personal level, love Becky. On a game level, again, like Alex, do not trust her as far as I can throw her. So I pretty much knew that if Becky was still in at Merge, that she was gonna have to go. But I do love you, Becky.
Oh yeah,
I will
I
say this.
loved getting to reconnect with Becky as someone who played. I played Hypnotic Big Brother season 3 with Becky, and I had to put her up twice as HOH, and she went out on my second HOH. And it was sad, but I just had to do what I had to do.
I actually hadn't seen Becky in a long time before this game. So I was a bit surprised to see her because I kind of thought she had vanished from the community. It's been so long since I'd seen her play.
I believe this is the first game in over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hypnotic. Well, it wasn't on Facebook, but it was almost 2 years ago now.
And fun facts, I think this is really funny. Her ears must be ringing because she texted me as we were on her photo.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Well, let's see if that happens a second time with the next person we're talking about. But do we have anything else we want to say about Becky?
I don't think so.
All right, let's go ahead and talk.
Wait. Thank you for giving us the Matt cartwheel. Huge appreciation for the Matt cartwheel.
The Matt non-cartwheel.
Yes, thank you, Matt. I love you, bestie. You know that, but I will never have that seen my favorites because
that was the best thing we ever got out of the Awake-a-thon was the attempt at a cartwheel from Matt.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next person here. We talked about one Tyler. Let's talk about the other Tyler.
2 Tylers.
Yes.
Tyler and I played our first Facebook org together. It was Cerberus, and he was kind of an op there for me. So, but I was glad to see him again, glad to play with him again. But unfortunately, Jester was just too powerful, and I wanted to find a backup plan to work around that, so that way I wouldn't go. And for me, that name was Tyler W, because Tyler W was in a lot of the chaos with that tether round as well. And I know Tyler can tend to play too hard too fast. So that's why I with Julia was like, I had that power. I let her hold it for a tribal and then build it back because we were certain that Becky was going. So I used it here and obviously stole Jester's vote because I wanted him to flush that idol. And I thought stealing his vote would fuel that fire. But I knew for a fact I wasn't putting those votes back on Jester at all. And I thought...
So, Tyler, he and I had decent conversations. No real game talk. So, I mean, when the vote was on Tyler, like, yeah, it didn't really matter to me because... he was somebody like, if he stays, cool, we continue a good conversation. If he goes, it doesn't hurt my game in any kind of way.
All right.
Yeah, it was just the looming of all my names out there. I got to figure something out. I don't want to idle myself out here. Or not idle myself out, but like get idled out.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say about Tyler W? All right, let's go ahead and move on then to our next merge boot. We have Bree.
I had 0 conversation with Bree. And unfortunately, the one round where I should have had a conversation with her, she wasn't around and ended up getting a self vote.
So Brienne is another one that we were actually in 2 games together at once. And in the other game, we talked, like, not, I wouldn't say a super lot, but we did talk. And it seemed like every time in this game when I'm trying to find my chat with her, all I could find was the other one. We did talk a few times, but we just really couldn't get that connection in this game. I do love her though. I've played a few games with her and I have worked with her and
it got back to me pretty quickly that Bree wanted me out, so that also didn't help there.
All right. Well, short but sweet. Anything else you want to say about Bree?
Okay. I wish I was good at Slapshot as you were.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to we got a circus group A and B, starting off with a circus group A, the group you were not in. Let's talk about Gabby.
Bonnaroo, no. I didn't get to blow it up. No, I'm kidding.
I absolutely adore Gabby, and I know as soon as I saw Gabby on the cast, I was like, if we get Survivor trivia, I want Gabby on my tribe. I know in the Alex and Gabby when they were the duo partners, the only reason I think that they survived that round is because of Gabby, because she's just loved by everybody.
That definitely was a huge factor why I just
because I didn't have a
safety
single
powered out of there.
person saying I don't want to vote Alex. And everybody was, but I don't want to vote Gabby. But I don't want to vote Gabby. And I didn't want to vote Gabby, but I wanted to vote Alex.
I was in the same position, and Gabby has been a dear friend of mine in this community since the very beginning, ever since I first played on Facebook. I've been hosted by her many a time. I played my first season with her, where I'm also the reason she was here. I really wanted to do right by that, and I really wanted to go as far as I could with her. Do I think we could have made the final here together? Probably not. So I feel like it's a blessing in disguise that she went out in that double, because that it's less blood on my hands and one less bridge to inevitably burn in the long run.
Right.
All right. Anything else you want to say about Gabby?
Fuck the Bonnaroo bitches. That's all I gotta say. Fuck the Bonnaroo bitches.
All right. Well, let's see if the fuck the Bonnaroo bitches continues with the person you did vote out in Circus Group B. Let's talk about speaking of B, Nicole B.
Another dear friend. We played Jake with together, and we failed like a math challenge together. And since then, it has been an inside joke between us of just yelling at each other, what is Squirtle? Because Squirtle was 5 and we couldn't figure that one out in like the math equation. But we started off on Lutz opposite sides, clearly. Of like, I was just told by Julia mostly that, Nicole and Tony are a tight duo, which is also why I wanted to idle Tony out so I could get Tony out and try to pull Nicole in on my side going into merge. But unfortunately, she was she became my vote that round because I was just more connected with everyone else we had on that tribe. Out of the 4, 5, 6 of us, some number 5.
Yeah. So Nicole.
Squirtle 7?
This is all Greek to me.
This is all my first season in Jake with.
So Nicole and I are really good friends, and I would say that she is the one person that I trusted in this game, like 100%. Like, I never doubted Nicole, and it absolutely broke my heart when I had to vote her out. Yeah. I still, like, I want to cry over that. I hated having to vote her out. Yeah. I love you, Nicole.
I also have all the love in the world for Nicole. Forgot to mention also was hosted by Nicole with Twisted Sister twice.
I think host with Nicole in Twisted Sister
as well as that, yeah.
Marcy.
Shout out Marcy.
Somewhere out there, Nicole B is saying "fuck you, Kevin," and we love her for that.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing it. I was
You're right. It's fuck off, Kevin.
Live, but if it's live, Nicole's probably with Marcy watching this right now.
All right. Well, with that said, if we have anything else to say about Nicole, All right.
Just
go ahead.
no.
I'm just really glad we got to go far together this time because in our other orgs we didn't get to go far together.
Yeah, Mike, if I had known that you wanted to keep her, damn, maybe we could have flipped that vote somehow.
But I wasn't willing to burn the other members of our tribe for that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
She did, I believe, make it the farthest out of everybody in terms of original placements. So we do love that. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next person here. So obviously, safety chain. We had a battle back. That person came back in the battle back. So we'll save that person for a little bit later. Instead, let's talk about the most normal vote of the season. Totally not a wild fucking vote that resulted in the demise of Kenzie.
Oh, I was planning the Kinsey vote for rounds prior to this.
Yeah.
I was on call with Julia manifesting, we got to take Kinsey out. Her name is not coming up once. And I don't think her name even came up when she got a vote against Nicole F. either. As far as I know, I thought she was just really well insulated. I thought she was floating, not floating. I thought she was just a bigger social threat than I thought she was, I guess. But I caught wind of she's not getting her name's not getting traction, and I'm in danger every round. Like these people are saying my name, they're targeting me, and it's like I want to do something that would divert from this big Braun alliance. I wanted to get ready to dismantle that.
So Kinsey, I actually knew Kinsey kind of before the game, but I never actually got to play with her and work with her. I did get to work with her in this game. Unfortunately, because it's a circumstance which I'm not going to go into because I think I'll be touching on that tonight. But yeah, I did have to vote her out. I really didn't want to though. Kinsey, I'm not gonna say Kinsey was part of my final 3 plan, but she was definitely somebody I wanted to go very far with in the game. But things changed.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say about Kenzie? Okay. Let's move on to someone else you both had a pretty big hand in. Let's talk about Steve.
Oh, Steve. I spearheaded this with the thought process of I'm pretty sure Steve was the rogue vote on me. And other than that, Steve, I know, is a very good social player, is a very likable person in and out of these games. And he was just catching on to me. He was on my tail of catching everything I was trying to throw.
So Steve and I have played quite a few Survivor games together, but up until this game, we had never ended up together until the merge, and at that point, both of us have always already had our people. So we get along well, but there comes a point where we have to take each other out. We got to connect early on here. Obviously, the tether twist. Steve was my tether partner. It was funny though, because I remember Steve saying, let's discuss who we're gonna make chats with. And I'm pretty much like, Steve, hold on to your hat, because we have a chats with everybody. So I love that. But yeah, that was another one that I felt really bad having to vote Steve out, and I didn't. I had my reasons for it.
I think Steve's likability would have won him a lot of jury votes if that's the end. He almost won our season, Jake. It came down to who won fire that round.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a point in the game where I was considering taking Steve to the end with me.
Well, Anything? Well, ultimately, that's not how it panned out. But anything else we want to say about Steve?
No.
All right, now we're gonna move on to our next person. Someone I'm sure neither of you have that much to say about. One person in particular does not have that much to say about. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about.
Go on. I think I'll go second here.
So Lindsay and she's one of the few people, like, we didn't have a lot of personal talk. I feel like all our conversations we had were strictly game. I really wish we had had more personal conversation. Um, but yeah, unfortunately for her, like, I did not vote her out that round, but her going out on the rocks, I think was actually probably really good for my game.
Well, yeah, you were the other day with the wheel. It was like either that or you're out, right?
Well, not just that though. I mean, even if it had been her and somebody else, like, of the people on that tribe, I think, yeah, that was the best possible scenario for me.
Is it my turn? I think it's my turn.
Lynn's was very well insulated. I'll just put it that way. Very well insulated.
I'm well aware. I'm very well aware.
Yes. And I needed that not to be a thing.
I get it. I do. We got very close. Lindsay and I got very close through this game. And she's definitely someone I would see as like a dear friend of mine going forward. I mean, I played my idol on her. I really wanted to keep her around as long as I could. This, I don't know. I had a thought here, and I like lost it.
Yeah.
No, like I said, we got very close. She's a very dear friend of mine now, and I owe her a lot in this game, especially with her using that idol on me, thinking we both thought like they were going to pull a fast one on me, and little did I know she would sacrifice her game like that for me here, and I still feel very guilty about that. Like I was adamant of like, it's not you, you're not going anywhere, and if this idol expires, I feel like they're gonna pull a fast one. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I still feel very guilty, and I'm glad I could have one extra round of bonding with Lens better.
All right. Anything else you want to say about Lynn's?
I got a lot of love for Lens. I really do.
Yes, very very consistent Radical player too. She got the exact same placement she did on her last season. So I just wanted to throw that out there. We're gonna go ahead and move on.
That rock draw broke me. I was heartbroken.
All right. Well, speaking of battlebacks, we just had our second battleback person. Let's talk about our finally the winner of the first battleback, Tristan.
I adore Tristan. Tristan is one of the most loyal players I've ever played with. And
yes, Tristan is so loyal. That is why I was willing to go to rocks for Tristan.
I did consider playing my idol on Tristan that round, even though I voted for him.
I mean, I knew going to rocks was like super risky, but I was like, if ever I was going to take this risk for somebody, Tristan's the person I would take that risk for. And
he's another one, like, because of the Sounds of Disney and the way he went out, I wanted to do right by that. He did right by that by himself pretty well, I'd say.
Right.
Crushed the challenges. It was an very easy bet to bet on.
I mean, for me,
for the
Tristan's
choose your
right up.
champion.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's right up there with Nicole, though. The two of them, I trusted them like 1000%. I know there was a few times in the votes where like people would be like, well, is Tristan really gonna do this? And I'm just like, listen, if Tristan says that's what Tristan is doing, that is what Tristan's gonna do. Tristan doesn't pull funny shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. I
But,
felt like with the supplies list being like cups, balls, etc. I knew this had to happen. This was the time to do it. And I also feel like Tristan's just so likable and had that perfect hero story. I wouldn't be shocked if he were to sit here in the end and sweep.
yeah.
I think the only thing he would have against him is the fact that he was voted out in this game prior. And even at that, that's just, I think that's a
Yeah,
bullshit
I mean,
excuse.
I definitely think if Tristan's at the end, he wins this game. No question. Yeah.
He was just that good, that likable, had that perfect hero story.
Perfect hero, comp beast, like Tristan winning the battle back, all of it together. Like, I don't see any scenario where Tristan is with any one or even two other people and does not win this game. I mean, hell, Touchy Subjects proves, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Tristan was the one that everybody said would win the game.
It was either him or Julia, I think.
Might have been a tie between Tristan and Julia, actually.
I think you're right.
I definitely answered Tristan on mine, though.
I think I said Julia, kind of like trying to plant seeds there of like she's a bigger threat to win between the two of us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say about Tristan, the first half of Trex that we didn't get to talk about?
Yeah. We love you, Tristan.
Yes. All the love in the world for Tristan. Team Sounds of Disney, always.
Yes. Well, let's talk about someone who's not from Sounds of Disney, but you did mention getting into the end, which this person is no stranger to. Let's talk about Jester.
Oh my god.
God.
Oh my god. The amount of stress and chaos this guy put us through. And I mean that with all the love in the world. I do not mean that disrespectfully. Jester by far has been one of my favorite rivals to ever have in any org. Ever. And even despite us going at it, not necessarily going at it, not like arguing or anything, but just not being on the same side of anything, going after each other, trying to dance around each other's advantages.
Mm-hmm.
Never failed to get a laugh out of me at any point in time on any like tribal Zoom and Jeopardy especially. And the fact that we could still laugh with each other through all of our rivalry, I have all the respect in the world for that. And I love Jester to death for everything. I really do.
So, Jester, I think he and I have quite an interesting story in this game. So, Jester went from being somebody that I saw as incredibly messy and likely somebody that I wanted to target early on it. But that came full circle, and Jester ended up being, I think, one of my closest allies in the game. Yeah.
We never like it was definitely had conversations of like, yeah, I'm not actually targeting you here at all.
Yeah.
But it was never, I don't think we ever fully trusted each other either. And
right.
The Julia idol bluff definitely burnt that bridge for good with us there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say about Jester?
Yes, I just want to point out again, like, all hail Jester for being the person who's played this game the most days out of anyone. Like,
yes,
I just want to like give him his props for that in this too.
Absolutely. I should have written his name down for the villain in Touchy Subjects, and I don't know why I didn't. Like, it's such a phenomenal villain in this game.
Yeah.
I did know that he probably wasn't winning if we took him to the end. I just didn't want him in the end.
Yeah.
I wanted that spot. I thought, and had a feeling he was going to take it from me. So I was like, no, I'm getting this immunity. We're taking Jester out. This is it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, Jester was part of my end game, but at the point that Jester went out, like, I just knew it was too risky, and
I considered it as well before we found out it was a final 2, but again, just given what Lynn said about the jury wanting Jester there, was like, I don't wanna. I would rather fight it out with the people I've been with from day one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's anything else you want to say about Jester, we'll move on to the last person here. Speaking of people you guys were with from day one, both of you, I think, would know this last person fairly well. Let's talk about
Who could it be?
very short of getting to the end, but just didn't quite get there. Let's talk about Julia.
You know, this is the least amount of tabs I've seen you with, Kevin.
Well, that's because I have another whole browser of like 50 tabs. It's like a whole other.
Julia. Even though she hates me now, I still adore Julia. And yeah, I know she takes it personal, my decision, but it absolutely was not personal. Like, I mean, like Mike said, I'm pretty sure Julia and Tristan tied for winning this game. And, you know, yeah, I do love her. I got to know her, I think, better than anybody else in the game. I thoroughly enjoyed every conversation and every second that I got to play this game with her.
Likewise, like Julia was my like day one ride or die. Pretty much every minute of this game I spent playing with Julia, and it's just maybe it's just luck.
Yeah,
that we went from this to the tethers to Lutz to merge, and that solidified. That kept us like rock solid.
Yeah,
but as soon as I lost that final immunity, I knew I had to sell myself as like the lesser jury threat between the two of us, and had to do what I had to do. And I hated every minute of it because we got that close, and we were just spending hours and hours on call, just scheming and trying to figure out every bit of scenario we could figure out.
Right.
Which worked because it was always, don't vote me out. Don't vote for me. I just want to win. I keep getting third. And ironically enough, she falls short in third.
Yeah. The third place queen.
She will always be a dear friend in my book after this game, and I have all the love in the world for Julia.
Sick.
All right. Well, with that said, that is, if we have anything else to say about Julia.
Don't vote for her. Don't vote for Julia.
All right. Well,
I swear on Loki. I don't have anything to swear on Loki for, but shout out to Loki.
Major shout out to Loki, the 25th player of this season. Would have made it so far. Just no one knew that he was, you know.
Oh, if Loki was in the final 3, I was definitely taking Loki to the end.
Oh yeah.
I don't blame you.
Oh yeah, Loki sweeps everybody. Simply being
Loki.
I would allow it,
but I'm okay losing to Loki.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, that is Julia and Loki, I guess, and that's the cast.
Yes. Congratulations.
That was fun.
Congrats to you both. We will see you tonight.
Yes, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah.
Good luck, Mike.
All right, stop recording.